It's me again. Today's date is December 8th, 2022. It's a Thursday. And I'm wearing my headset like this because this microphone has the dual audio outputs, whereas this does not for some reason, or I don't know how to turn this one on, and it makes editing much faster. Let me preface this video by saying that this is not financial advice, nor is intended to be financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, hence I wear a costume. Are you not entertained? You are watching my own personal blog. This is my own journey. You are just listening to one bird's thoughts. Today is the last date if you wish to buy Mmtlp. If you are thinking about holding to NextBridge. If you are thinking about holding to NextBridge, today's the last day to buy Mmtlp. Some brokerages like JP Morgan don't allow buying on Mmtlp anymore right now because it went under a specific price and they turned off the buying button on that. The price action has been very disappointing to many people. It's not one factor, and people are quick to jump to conclusions like, oh, it's not all shorting, it's people selling. This is true. Some people believe that this is the last day to sell, and some brokerages, it is the last day to sell. Mmtlp will cease trading for many overseas brokerages starting today. Other brokerages have stated that you can buy today and you have until Monday to sell. I personally have until Monday to sell if my price goals are met. I've always been very, very bullish on the oil and gas assets. We're talking about 3.2 billion barrels of oil in the ground, 6 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. We're talking about a crude oil pipeline that can be hooked up on the university lands right underneath the Torchlight property. We are talking about a natural gas pipeline that can be hooked up that is on the Torchlight property. Both of those are owned by Kinder Morgan or Kinder Morgan subsidiaries. They're both Kinder Morgan pipelines. Kinder Morgan is king of the pipelines there. Whereas where I live, Magellan's king of the pipelines. We have the aquifer. They don't have to truck in water. It's right there. It's right there at the aquifer. That's an immense saving expense cost. And those pipelines are extremely value added. I've always factored in if I sold, for me, the price has to be pretty high because I factor in big oil buys it. I get dividends in big oil. The taxes are less. It's a non-taxable event. If I sell now, I have more taxes to pay because I have long-term and short-term capital gains tax on my Mmtlp shares. The opportunity cost is high. When am I going to have this opportunity again? I might be able to get big oil stock now for very inexpensively. You will hear lots of things fly today, tomorrow, this weekend, that there were no shorts. Shorts don't have to cover this, which makes no sense from an accounting standpoint. That makes no sense that shorts don't have to cover this. You might call up your broker. You will get a customer service representative who just goes by what they've been trained to do. No, fault on their regards. They're not omniscient. But they might say, and I've heard this, and I've seen emails today coming in saying that, oh, the shares will be canceled, and thus, nothing has to close. They're not taking consideration that the FINRA notification says exchanged on there. Exchanged. It doesn't say delisted on FINRA. It doesn't say canceled. It says exchanged. After the exchange happens, then they're canceled. Mmtlp goes away. It's canceled because of the exchange, and you get NextBridge. You cannot short a private company. We know that. If the shorts don't cover, that's a big liability on the brokerage books. And where are they going to get that money? All of a sudden, they owe a bunch of money to people who have Mmtlp shares. Their shares were lent out. That is a very big liability to the broker. What broker is going to say, yeah, shorts don't have to cover. We'll just pay the money. That doesn't make any sense in this regard. FOMO certainly has gone down. People have, certainly this whole DTCC not releasing the corporate actions has certainly killed the momentum in a lot of this because it's business as usual until it's not, right? People say, well, why haven't shorts covered? Surely they must know. Perhaps they do know. And it's still being shorted because it's going to be until it's turned off. Until that ability is turned off, it'll still be shorted. Much like there's still people buying until the ability to buy is turned off for everybody. Eventually, it'll get to a point where people can't buy anymore, and it'll get to a point where people can't short anymore. Okay? This isn't over yet, I think. I personally believe. Look, we have the end of today, and IBKR has already stated what they're doing today. We have Friday, and then Monday. What's going to happen after the 8th? Brokerages realize that there's more shares going into NextBridge than there are available NextBridge shares because a lot of these shares have been lent out. It's been over leveraged. I'm still in the school of thought it's been over leveraged. That's my own personal opinion. If you need to sell, that's fine. I'm not going to question if, like Tony said, everybody has their own personal reasons, and that's your personal business. It's not my business if you sell or not. This is entertainment purposes. But if people need to sell, that's fine. They have their own reasons. My conviction is very high on NextBridge. I've always stated that if my price goals aren't met, then I hold into NextBridge. I'm happily holding to NextBridge, regardless of what happens. I've said that time and time again. McCabe knows the value of the oil and gas. The whales know the value of the oil and gas. It might be very interesting times today through Monday. Things might get very spicy. But right now, at this darkest hour, it comes down to your personal conviction. What are you going to do? You have choices to make. Some people have a choice to make today. Right now, it comes down to your conviction at this darkest hour and what you need to do. Do what gives you confidence. And, some people have to sell. That's fine. That is their prerogative. That's their business. I don't question it. My conviction will hold through Monday. And we're going to see what's going to happen. Because I got 3.2 billion barrels of oil and gas behind me. And if somebody tells me, oh no, people are selling because they don't want a worthless piece of paper. Okay, I don't think the man who discovered the wolf bone play in the Permian Basin is going to call NextBridge hydrocarbons a worthless piece of paper. And right now on JP Morgan, I can't buy. If I were to set up a stop loss on JP Morgan, I get stopped out. I can't rebuy this, right? I just lost my shares. Hence, this comes down to my conviction. People are betting on me to give up, but they don't realize that I have the tenacity of 1.57 bulldogs. Why would I give up on the hydrocarbons? Why? Yes, the share price does have a point to play because if it reaches my goals, great. I'm happy. If not, I get the hydrocarbons and I'm happy about that oil and gas. And again, it comes down to convictions. Monday could be a wild ride. Tomorrow could be a wild ride. I'm not going to give up. I have until Monday, personally. People are betting on you giving up and selling and saying, I can't take this, right? But I'm not going to give up my rights. That's too much of an opportunity cost for me, personally. To the oil and gas. It's not over until Monday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Of course, I'll make more videos, but I just wanted to put this out here because I think people certainly can use the pep talk. Like I said, I haven't sold a share. The Cabe didn't sell earlier. He's under no obligation to hold Mmtlp, right? Would Berta sell at this price? All the big major shareholders are currently holding. The largest shareholders are currently holding because they believe in the hydrocarbons. People are betting on you folding. They're thinking that you don't have babushka arms. I'm holding my shares with my babushka arms, okay? I'm using babushka arms to hold my shares. Diamond hands, okay, well, I got babushka arms. So, that's what I'm doing. I'm taking my babushka arms and I'm holding into NextBridge. Even if FOMO's gone, it still boils down to your personal conviction. Do with what gives you confidence. With FOMO gone, it just comes down to your personal conviction, and we have until Monday. It's not over yet. I will see you soon. Goodbye.